Hello and welcome back to Purple Does Poison, a Druid Blight caster life. This is level 19, or rather we have enough experience to take level 19, but as the quest I want to do is a base 16, one of these new ones in the Morgrave University quad, I haven't yet taken the level 19. On that subject, I'd like to thank the fellow who pointed out that I was missing out on quite an abundance of experience during the leveling process by going more than 2 levels above the base level of the quest. For example, this one is level 16 on normal, which is what we mean by the base level. So if you are more than level 18 when you do it, you lose half of the bravery bonus for the experience calculation at the end. Now, I know a lot of you won't be into the number crunching, and to be honest, I'm not too fussed about it either. But the reason I mention it, I mean, this life, you'll have noticed I've taken my sweet time getting to the epics, or even getting near to the epics. So when you're in that situation, maybe you only have a couple of hours, maybe every other day, you kind of would like to make the most of the time that you've got. And if sticking to this 2 level thing just means you advance a little bit faster, then I think that's quite nice. If that's the objective, my objective with this little series is to get to the next level so I can get the next episode out, and that's kind of where the fun is. The ones in between are just the ones in between. So yes, thanks very much for that. I'm noticing I've pointed it out in the past, and there is an example of it in one of the previous quests. This enhancement here, this nice enhancement in the Blight tree, this contagion, or outbreak rather, that gives our contagion an AoE. It's not just applying to contagion, it seems to be going off sort of semi-randomly on things nearby. Sometimes, as far as I can tell, even when I haven't cast a spell. So there is a little bit of a bug there, but it's in our favour. So I definitely recommend, even if you're not planning to use contagion, maybe it's worth putting 2 points in there if you have nowhere else to throw the points, if you're just trying to get to the 40 to unlock the capstone there. Because I have seen on numerous occasions things getting stopped and stunned when I haven't cast the spell itself. So there's something a little bit dubious going on. Otherwise, no change whatsoever to any of the gear or anything. So nothing of note. I just thought I would like to do one of these because, well, firstly, it's a nice area for him to sit. You know how much of a sucker I am for my waterfalls and fountains and all this kind of stuff. And secondly, with it being fairly new content to the game, some of you might not have seen this yet. Third, it's a quest that has quite, if I remember right, quite some groups of opponents. So it might give us a chance again, like the last one did, to showcase what this build is really good at, namely stopping and just neutralizing the big groups. Or should I say stopping and vaporizing. We're not really into neutralizing, are we? Neutralizing would be the contagion. The acid well just destroys. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. If you haven't seen this quest before, it's one of the ones, as I said, in the Morgrave University quad, which is accessible from the Shan Clifftop Tower district. There's a air barge thing that'll take you there, and it's kind of in 3 separate stages. You talk to the Keeper of the Eye up there in front of me, and that gets the quest going. And then you've got 3 portals you have to go through and reach the end of each one to be able to complete the quest. So there we go, we talk to the person and the portals pop up. Oh, there's two portals and there's another way over here, so we'll go and do this section first, I think.
This will be no easy task. Each of the fortresses is occupied by one of the three warring...
Oh my god. It's just poetry, isn't it? The contagion's so useful for locking down the opponents and making them take extra damage as well from the helpless.
Scraping claws, battering feet.
Yeah, that's just... Oh, what happened there? That's not cool, is it?
Waves of heat billow upwards from the cavern below. Down in the large pool of lava, small rock platforms take shape.
I think there may be things just on the other side of here, yeah. Lucky guess. Oh, that wasn't cool. That's the tsunami at work. So we've got these two level 9 spells. It really is a game changer once you get those going. And you can understand why I say that the build will definitely hold its own and more than contribute in well higher up than Reaper 1. The only reason I don't is I'm on my own and I've invariably done all the waffle at the start of the quest, so if something silly happens and I die horribly, it's going to be a bit of a pain to redo everything. But I'd say this is absolutely capable of doing really well in like Reaper 4 with somebody else along, or with a group, whatever. I should be using the spell-like ability, the Sunburst, to finish off any stragglers. That's a bad mistake because that's costing me a lot more spell points. Now these are a bit spread out. We don't like this, do we? We like a nice big group that's all together, happy families. And I made an absolute balls of that, didn't I? And what are you doing at the back, sir? Okay, yeah, we've got quite lucky with these souls, lost souls thus far. Now what can we do about you? We can't stun you obviously, so let's try and do some damage over time. Yeah. Can we stun you? Oh yes. Little sneaky damage over time there while he's stunned. Okay. So I'd say that went pretty well. So that's the sort of pattern of the quest. There's a rune at the end of each of the 3 paths, and once you get the 3 runes you can complete the quest. So we'll go through the next portal. So this is the celestial thing, the sort of Archon type opponents.
David gestures for you to talk to her.
Oh, don't do that.
Have stormed this fortress.
Ah, yes, they're immune to acid, aren't they? So what I should have done there would have been to fire the lesser acid spell in first and then follow with the acid. Well, that spell got eaten by the lag. They're immune to cold, and you saw there I did a tsunami and that thing got stunned. There's no way it should have been stunned there, unless there's something I'm missing. So let's try here. We'll start with the acid blast and then follow with the acid well. Yeah, that's better. That's more like it. So the first time we hit with an acid spell, they'll take no damage, but it'll strip the immunity off. So let's do the stun first, then acid blast and acid well. Yeah, happy days. Although we've got a few more coming here, haven't we? Let's see if we can try that again. Everybody together, please. Oh yes, now we've got it. Now we've got it. So you just got to remember to put the to strip the immunity first. Right, there are 3
This courtyard has been
sections
ravaged
to
by the
this
devil's
lot.
attack.
One over there and one in each of the
Portals
side
allow the
cubby
devil
holes.
troops to
If we're
stream in.
feeling brave, we could sort of tempt them all out together and mash them all together if they'll come. That could be good. If they all come in bits and pieces, that's going to be a pain. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, except we missed the back lot, they didn't come.
Portal fades from view.
Beautiful. Okay.
Now that all 3 portals have been
Now this big guy, I remember, gave my main character a lot of trouble on the legendary version. He's a real pain. Let's see if we can start him off with some damage over time. Can we stun him? No. Can we contagion him? That'll do. Now there was a... I don't think there's a shrine at the end there, is there? So we'll have to go back to the one we just went past. Yeah, looking at what I'm seeing here, this guy's going to be rock and rolling all the way through the epics. Really nice AoE crowd control and damage. Now to get the same, well, I can't get the same as the contagion. The contagion is ranged. We're going to be able to enlarge that, so we're going to be able to do that from insane range. My standard druid doesn't have a crowd control like that makes things helpless and is usable from such distance. He has a choice between what is it, Greater Shout, SLA, Greater Colour Spray, both of which, as you probably know, need to be done at very close range. Or he has Burst of Glacial Wrath, again close range, or the Earthquake, which is further away, but it can be a little hit and miss with the targeting of the things. So this thing, which is pinpoint, gets everything. This is definitely a plus in favour of the Blight caster, in my opinion, over the standard Druid, the Season's Herald build. Have I waffled on for so long that my buffs have run out, or as seems more likely, have I just not done any buffs? That's not very good, is it? Or maybe I should pay a bit more attention and realise I just shrined, hence didn't have any buffs. That's about my level, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I think there are some that materialise in this first room, so be careful. And I'll keep an eye on those swords as well. So again, using the acid blast to debuff them, so they'll take acid damage, and the acid well to finish them.
To the west stands a closed metal door.
We're going to try and get 2 groups together here, because that's what we love to do. Good old Yorkshire spell point economy. Finishing off any stragglers with the word of balance, that seems to work very nicely against these. Box breaking is not really the thing with this build. It takes me ages and it's just a bit of an immersion breaker, so I don't tend to bother. Hello, can we take you lot to the next group perhaps? Oh, let's have a nice big gathering. I got it wrong there, I did them the wrong way around, hence nothing died. It is a little bit laggy, but certainly not as bad as it's been in the past. Can we find a second group? I think we probably can. Yeah. Are you all coming together here? Now let's see if we can get this right. Yes! That's just beautiful. Pull this lever thing and it opens a way forward.
Magical energy surges throughout the fortress.
It's also saving us a lot of mana, that doing it that way, gathering things into a... Playing as a warlock, you don't tend to have to bother with the mana conservation side of things that tanky warlock purple was doing last life, but this build certainly does have to keep in mind that and play accordingly. What are you doing, sir? Was he just for some reason on the... Yeah, there's a load of them on the other side of that thing, aren't there? For some reason he was on the wrong side of it.
Climbs upwards, further.
Let's try and get the next lot to sort of meld together with this lot. Oh, I see a Reaper in there. Okay. And somewhere up here there'll be a boss character as well. I'm going to try and get him at the same time as these other things if possible. Can we just stun him there? Yeah. Come on, everybody in. That's pretty good. Now the dragon bolt that I just put on that one is another nice way to get around the immunity to acid. Obviously the first tick doesn't do anything, but those afterwards will, because you've debuffed it with the first one. So if you have a big single target like that, that big Orthon thing, it would have been a good one to lead with against him. I'll just press on the 3 runes and the quest is done.
After attuning to all 3 of the wards, the protections for the Eye of
Yeah,
Shavran
happy
fade.
days. Aside from the weakness of the healing in combat, I say in combat because out of combat now his healing is fine with the change to the Reaper thing. Aside from that, I would definitely be trying higher Reaper scores, possibly up to 4, the way things are going at the moment. The only reason I don't, first of all, if there's a total mess and I lose the quest because of it, it's not exactly good for the recording. And secondly, there's the matter of the spell points. The stronger the opponents are, the less damage they take, the more hit points they have, the more spell points it takes to get rid of them. And of course they're doing damage to me, which means I spend spell points healing, and then we run into trouble with the mana conservation, and perhaps the overall flow of the video is a bit less. You see how well I found an excuse to keep it on the easier level. Never cease to amaze myself. That looks like a fairly good thing for what? For some kind of a melee anyway, isn't it? It's not for us. Okay. Well, operation successful. We're into level 19 now. I don't think I'll take it. I know a lot of people don't anyway take the level 19. I think I'll just leave it at 18 and go up to 20 like this. I might just have a go at some of the other quests down here in this quad. There's some nice ones here. I think I did the Army of Shadow in the purple Purple Warlock series, and I'm pretty sure I've done all of these on Legendary Reaper with Fools. So if you did want to see them, they'll be in the Druid playlist, the Cold Druid playlist of my channel. Otherwise, I think that's it for this episode. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will see you in Epic. I bet you thought you'd never hear that. Take care.